Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be doing a movie review and a makeup look. This is going to be a two-part. I'm going to do my face makeup and talk about one film, and then I'm going to do my eyeshadow and talk about the second film. Both of these are 80s movies, and I saw both of them like within the last 5 days. And I was really excited, wanted to share both of them, so I just figured I would do this in a two-part series. So if you want to see the eye look, you'll have to watch part two. But the first movie we're going to be talking about is The Burbs. So hopefully that's why you're here, because I don't really talk about the products a whole lot. You just kind of see me use them if you haven't seen me do my reviews. So yeah, we're going to be sitting here and we're going to be talking about The Burbs. I watched it. I have it on DVD. I'm so sad. I was trying to get this on this up and done. Well, it was still on Prime. Prime just took it off. I think they knew I wanted to watch it because I was going to rewatch it, and then I discovered that they didn't have it anymore. So I had to watch the DVD, but I do own it. It's one of my favorite movies. Part two, I'm going to be talking about Hiding Out. So you'll have to stick around for that. But right now, yeah, we're just talking about The Burbs. I'm going to be putting moisturizer on and then some sort of face makeup. It's probably not going to be a lot. I don't even know what kind of look I'm doing. Just kind of winging it. Normally I plan out the products a little bit better in these, but if anybody is curious what exactly I'm using, leave me a comment and I will let you know. Like I said, I do have subscribers that just care about the movie content and don't care about the makeup content. So I don't really talk about the products, but you can see me apply products. So it's become kind of a little best of both worlds. I like makeup. I like movies. Generally, I just do horror, but I think I'm going to incorporate 80s once in a while because it's my other favorite subgenre. 80s teen movies mostly, and 80s horror to be specific. Not just because the 80s obviously is a whole decade and can encompass quite a lot, but generally 80s teen movies and horror. I like horror in general. I guess that's typically what I do, but The Burbs, I was going to try and sneak it in as a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It technically, I guess, could tiptoe around a thriller. It's a dark comedy. We're just going to call it like it is. Tom Hanks is in it. Corey Feldman. There's a couple of other really famous people. What is her name? The lady that played Princess Leia in Star Wars. Carrie Fisher is in it and plays Tom Hanks' wife. So it's just got a really good cast, and they live in suburbia. They live on a cul-de-sac, and there's some weird people that move in next door to Tom Hanks, and so him and his neighbors are convinced that his neighbors are murderers and they're serial killers, and they're killing people and burying them in the backyard and whatnot. So him and two of his neighbors set out to prove that his neighbors are killing people. So that's the basis of the film. What foundation do I want to use? I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't plan out these products at all like I normally do. Maybe we'll use my mineral powder, or I'll just use my stick foundation. That'll be easy. I think I have. We'll use this one. I bought, not that anybody cares, I bought a little stand that turns to put, I have all of my brushes in cups over there. And every day I've got to bring the cups over, put them back. Okay, so I do that. I bought this to sit on my desk. It turns. Here's my little baby. There's both of my girls. So it rotates. So I can put the brushes I use on a daily basis in here. I don't wear stick foundation or use foundation brushes. So therefore it's over there. So if anybody wonders why I'm reaching, it's because I've decided to use a brush that I don't have on my desk because I just moved everything. So why would I choose to use the stuff that I put over here? Because I have to be complicated. Part of the reason I do not talk about the products is I do have foundations that I don't necessarily care for day to day. Like this isn't horrible. Some of the color pop, this was a horrible foundation, but I use it. It looks nice on camera and it has a shelf, like a good wear time for about 2 hours. After that, some of these start to break up on me. So I don't necessarily want to be like, oh, I'm using this foundation because it's great and wonderful, because I don't always use my filming foundations, but sometimes I do because I have them and I want to use them. And then, like I said, I have people here that don't care about the makeup and just want movie content. So I try to accommodate my viewers that do not care about makeup or subscription boxes. But yes, I rewatched The Burbs. I've been trying to get Mike, who's technically my boyfriend because we're legally not married, but I refer to him as my husband because we've been together for almost 3 years and we have a daughter and we're planning on getting married. But I've been trying to get Mike to watch The Burbs, and he fell asleep when we were watching it the other night, so he still hasn't seen it. He's seen parts of it. Like I said, I've tried making him watch it. I just decided he just doesn't care about it. It's not one of Tom Hanks's, like, it's not a popular movie. There's a lot of people I've come across my age, younger, obviously, some older, that have never even heard of it. It was not, I think it went to the theater because it was filmed on Universal's backlot. So the houses, like his house and his neighbor's house and his guy next door, like they're all famous homes because it was filmed where they did, Desperate Housewives. And it's the section that Universal has used for decades and decades. So I'm pretty sure the creepy neighbors that move in next door, like their house is the house that was used in The Monsters. I'm turning the filter off. I forgot that the filter was on. I do have a filter on this camera. This isn't my high quality camera. I sometimes will use this one when I'm doing these because people aren't as concerned about the products, but it does have a filter, which I do turn on when I do videos where I don't have makeup on, just so that I look a little bit better, but I just realized it was on, so I turned that off. I did work today, but I decided not to put any makeup on, so and I did know that I wanted to do this 2-part, so I'm just doing it now. So I'm probably going to wash this off after we're done. But anyways, so yes, I believe the house that his creepy neighbors move into is the Munster house, I believe. So yeah, a lot of famous homes. The actor that plays the guy right next to him on the other side, I've seen in stuff. There's a guy that's playing like a lieutenant that lives across the street. Is another famous actor. Like they've been in stuff. So it's definitely one of those, if you go and watch it, you're going to see people that look familiar, at least from like other 80s movies. So the movie starts off, there's weird noises coming from next door. Tom Hanks is out in his bathrobe on his lawn listening to these loud noises. There's weird lights coming from their basement, and it's one of those where the wind isn't blowing and he's standing there, and then when he takes a step and it steps into the neighbor's yard, the wind starts blowing, and at the second he steps back into his yard, it's fine. One of those little satirical, like, comedy things that they're trying to set up, like these people are weird and they've brought who knows what with them. So that's the very beginning of the movie. They kind of set it up. It's one of those where all of the neighbors spy on each other. So like the lieutenant that lives across the street is like, he was standing out in his yard listening to the weirdos that moved in, and he didn't do anything. So like he knew that Tom Hanks was standing out in his yard. So they all watch each other. There's the grouchy old guy that lives down the street that has a dog, whose dog is trained to go to the bathroom in the lieutenant's yard, and so they fight. Tom Hanks watches that transpire. The whole premise of the movie, he's at home. He decides to take his week vacation and spend it at home. So then he gets sucked in. It's going to wash me out a little bit, but maybe that's brighter. If it's too bright, let me know and I'll stop turning that overhead light on. But I know I am washed out, but I feel like that may not be bright enough. I don't know. Sometimes I can get away with that overhead and it's not so harsh, and other times it's just too much. And it probably depends on outside light coming in too, maybe a factor. I don't know. I haven't really quite been able to figure out why I can use that sometimes and why I can't. And I am able to use it with my other camera a little bit better. It's a little bit higher resolution, a little better quality, so it doesn't wash out as bad. So that could be too. But I apologize for the lighting. I do have a ring light. I didn't bring it out because I'm not doing a tutorial, so I figured it didn't really matter. But so yeah, his neighbors know, it's one of those, like I said, they live in a cul-de-sac, so everybody knows everything about everybody's business. So they are just, and these people that moved in, like nobody's like really seen them. Nobody remembers really seeing the people that own the house leave. So there was that. There's weird noises, weird lights coming in, coming out of their basement in the middle of the night. What are these people doing? They've got to be doing something. They don't want to talk to us, so they've got to be suspicious and up to no good. But, if you live next door to people that were that nosy, would you really want to talk to them anyway? So then they're convinced that something, is weird is going on. They're in Tom Hanks's yard, but I think before that, the old guy that lives down the street goes missing. Like he disappears. His dog is found outside, so they don't know what happened to Walter. So trying to figure out what happened to Walter, and then they're convinced that the neighbors killed him. They do. Tom Hanks does find like a femur bone in his yard. His dog digs it up, and so they're convinced that it's Walter's. Walter died. They killed him. Walter's dog Queenie then has to stay at Tom Hanks's house for a while because they're not yet. They don't know where Walter is, and the three of them are convinced that Walter died. They, at one point, break into Walter's house. Walter left his toupee. Tom Hanks puts his toupee back through the mail slot. They finally, they start snooping around. They eventually decide to go over. Tom Hanks's wife, Carrie Fisher, forces them to go over and meet the people next door. They've been snooping around, being weird. Let's just go over and talk to them. Well, they find Walter's mail in their house. They find Walter's toupee. So now they're really, okay, they killed him. They were in Walter's house. Walter's gone. So now they're really, at this point, I apologize, my phone's dinging. I'm so sorry. It's probably going to go off again. There's been issues at work. I started a new job. I got a job at Supercuts, and there's been all sorts of drama. I feel really bad because I had gone to training, so I think I was offered a position at Cost Cutters, so I think I'm going to leave and just pay back the training because I feel really bad leaving, but it's a mess over there, and it's stressing me out, and I don't necessarily want to work where I'm stressed out. I just want to do hair. If I wanted to be stressed out, I would have stayed in human services and finished my degree and been a social worker. So my friend that works over there is probably texting me. I turned in my resignation today, so still trying to figure out. I put in my 2 weeks. I don't know if they want me to stay and work the 2 weeks. I don't know. It's a mess. So I've been dealing with that. So I apologize if my phone goes off again. It may. So sorry. Anyways, so they are on a witch hunt because, okay, now they have confirmation, or what they think is confirmation, that Walter died. They killed him. So now they're like gonna concoct this thing. They're gonna break into these people's houses. They found out when the main guy, who's a doctor, is gonna leave. He's supposed to be gone for the day with his brother and his nephew. I think it's his nephew. I don't know. His brother lives there, and then there's a younger guy, Courtney Gaines, I think is his name. He was in Can't Buy Me Love. He was in Children of the Corn. When you see him, but you'll know who he is. But he's there. I think he's a nephew. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. They don't really explain where he came from a whole lot. But so they know these people are going to be gone for the day. So we're going to break in. We're going to, we're going to dig up the backyard. We're going to go in the basement. We're going to figure out what happened to Walter. We're going to prove that these people are murderers. And so then they hatch a plan to break in. And the people next door have security and like electrical fences. So then they've got to figure out a way to cut the power, and it just starts getting really nutty. But it is so funny. Like I said, it's a really good cast. I'm going to spray my face down so it's not so powdery. Because it's just one, like, it's one of those, it's like one catastrophe after another. And it's just a mess. Like, they don't know what they're doing, and it's just a mess. So yeah, I pretty much finished my face. I just have to do my brows. So yeah, definitely, if you have not seen the Burbs, I didn't spoil the ending for you, but definitely go check it out. It is funny. You will like it. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, thank you so much. And if you want to see what eyeshadow palette I use, and what my finished look, go check out part 2. I'm going to upload these probably at the same time, so they'll both be in the list. And we'll be talking about Hiding Out. It has John Cryer in it. It was an awesome movie. I had never seen it before. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. I'll do an eye look with a new palette that I've never used before. So if that sounds funny, I'd definitely go and check that video out. Also, please hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed already. And I will see everybody hopefully in my next video. Bye, guys.